Well, 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 what have we got here? We today, guys, have got the Sonder completely packed up because today I am doing a little test run of the completely how I'm going to set this bike up for some bike packing adventures that are coming very soon. That's why I haven't been uploading that much. Because I've been planning some adventures, getting the bike ready, and yeah, all that's fun stuff. So today we're going to take this bike, this Sonder, out, see how it feels fully loaded. We're going to head over to Moores Valley, but first let's just go over with what I've got on here. So we've obviously got the Altura seat post pack, which I did a little review about. This is basically carrying all my camping equipment, but we will get into what I'm carrying later in regards to camping equipment, because today we are also going to go and do a little bit of wild camping because we can finally do that. So on the frame we are making use of the 3 bottle cage mounts here. We've got 3 bottle cages. I'm also going to be carrying a filter so I can filter water to fill these up if I'm ever in need of that. We have the Blackburn Outpost frame bag. This is primarily going to be used for storing food and a few like tools. My Allen key is in the smaller pocket. The main pocket will just be used for storing all my snacks and food. Here on the top tube bag we have a Lifeline top tube bag, nice simple waterproof bag. Basically all this is going to carry is the electrical stuff, my phone, a charger bank, some batteries, stuff like that. As you can see here, we have the Bush & Muller USB work, which is basically charging this 10,000 milliamp portable charger, which I will then be able to charge my phone, my GoPro, and all that fun stuff. So here we have the Pod Sacks little, I don't know what they call them, are they stem bags? I don't know, it's basically an extra bottle holder, but I am primarily going to be using this to store you guys. This little GoPro is going to be stored in there. Now onto the front. Now this isn't what I'm going to actually be using. This is just so I can get a feel for the weight on the bars and make sure it's okay. Basically all the stuff I'm carrying here is going to be on there, but it's going to be in an Altura handlebar bag. I'm just waiting for that to be delivered, so I've just like stacked all my stuff in here. Basically this is all this has got is my sleeping bag, my down jacket, couple spare riding stuff, basically all stuff I want to keep completely dry. And that is basically set it up for some bike packing adventures, which I'm hoping to go very soon, maybe as early as next week if everything arrives and everything works out today. But today we're going to head over to Moores Valley and just sort of see how it handles, make sure I'm happy with how it handles. I forgot to mention, I also now have a 43 millimeter front tire as well, because I just finally got around to changing it. And you might be surprised by this, but I will not be running tubeless on my bike packing adventures, because as much as I love tubeless, I think there's a better way. When weight isn't that much of a worry, when you're carrying all this gear, it doesn't matter. What I've actually done is I've Gorilla taped the inside of my tires, and that just gives them some reinforcements, and I'm actually running tubes. So that is basically going to be my setup. We're going to head over to Moores Valley. We're going to test this out today. In the magic of editing, let's go over to chest cam at Moores Valley single track. And just like that, with the power of editing, we are at Moores Valley single track, and I think this will be a good little test to make sure the bags don't move too much, don't annoy me too much, and just generally how good this bike performs fully loaded, because quite often in the UK gravel just becomes mountain bike and you just gotta chuck the bike around a bit. So let's see how well it does with all this stuff. First impressions, not as bad as I was thinking. When I picked this bike up with all the stuff, it feels heavy. It's not exactly light anymore. Sonder Camino titanium isn't really that light anyway, being a gravel bike. but add the stuff, especially 3 litres of water, it just becomes quite heavy. So some of this single track should be a good little test for it, as it gets quite tight, and I need to chuck the bike around a bit. One thing I will say is I have a feeling if I don't change the gearing from a 46, 42 easiest gear, I might end up being a bit under geared on quite a bit on some of the places I plan to go to, but at the moment I'm not sure I'm actually going to change it, and I think I'll just suffer through at least the first bikepacking trip this year, and then if I find it really too much, I'll change, because I don't want to spend loads of money. Like I say, this bag is really just here to emulate the weight that I'm going to have with the bike, with the handlebar bag that I'm actually going to put there. So hopefully I'll actually be able to grip these parts, because right now I can't, which is like a throwback to when bike bags were only really like special made, like custom made for you. Otherwise you basically did what I'm doing now and just get a dry bag, strap it to your handlebars, and be done with it. But times have moved on, and there's so many bike bags out there now, which is amazing, which is nice. I mean, strapping a dry bag to the front does work. They're really cheap, so if you want to just stay as budget as possible, just do that. It works. I'm so unfit. I'm so unfit because I can't really ride, or I haven't been able to ride too much, especially the last week. My lungs still hurting, I'm still getting chest pains from when I had COVID, which is starting to annoy me now, because it's been about 3 months, 2.5 months. I'm just hoping it's going to get better. That 43mm tyre that I've got on the front right now is like, I didn't think it'd be such a big deal, because I think I had a 38 before, but since putting it on, it's just so much nicer, just grippy, comfortable, and it's just generally really nice. And it's not much of a big jump in size, 38, 43, but it just feels really good. This bit gets a bit tight around here, I think it's this bit, so this would be quite good to see how the bike feels. And to be honest, although all this stuff is on the back, especially the seat post bag, they wobble a little bit, I actually can't tell that I've got it all. I mean, apart from it just feeling a bit heavier to pedal, it doesn't really change the handling of the bike too much, which is perfect, just what I wanted. I was a bit worried that I might have to ditch a few bits, but as you'll see from my camping gear later, I want to keep it as versatile as possible, so I can avoid any need to get into a B&B or hotel or whatever when things get a bit tough. I want to be able to adapt to whatever the situation is and set up camp, even if that means it's terribly wet or whatever. So, but we'll see that later. Oh, this bike feels good. Oh, burn, this is a good test. Yeah, it feels good. I guess I should try riding the drops a bit, see what it feels like. To be honest, I really can't tell that I've got all these bags on. It's just amazing. Actually handling way better than I thought. This bit's quite bumpy. You do kind of have to change the style a bit when you've got bags on. You can't really stand up, sprint out corners as aggressively. I mean, you can, but it just feels dodgy. Well, there we have it. Okay, I've just finished the loop around Moores Valley on the single track, and I am pleasantly surprised actually how well this bike feels when you have to sort of throw it around and sort of get a bit technical with it. It actually handles really well. Putting the 43mm tyre up front has made actually a lot of difference. A lot more difference than I thought it was going to make, and just generally the bags just feel really solid. I was worried that maybe when I get a bit technical and have to chuck the bike around, that frame, the seat post bag, will go a little bit wobbly and you might feel it, but actually I didn't. The weight on the handlebars is absolutely fine, don't really notice it. It's going to be much better when I have better hand positions, but it works really well. And just generally the whole bike feels perfect for some good gravel adventures. So tonight we're also going to go wild camping, and we'll have a look at what my sleeping arrangements will be on my bike packing adventures. So with the power of editing again, let's jump over to that magic. Okay, I am in the spot roughly where I'm going to camp tonight, and let's open this bag of camping accessories, basically everything I'm probably going to carry every time I go bike packing, to give me a few options when it comes to snooze time. Let's do it. Okay, the first thing we have in this bag is a rain jacket. I can access that really quick if it starts raining, and it's good, it's there, done. Okay, the next thing I have is I have my hammock. Now this weighs literally nothing, and it's the size of a Coke can. This is the Alpkit Mora. Basically, I'm just going to carry this around with me all the time, because even though most of the UK there isn't that much trees to hammock camp, it's nice when you find a place like tonight. It is beautiful. The Alpkit Mora hammock is one option that I will have. These are some tent pegs which go with the tarp. So we have a tarp and a hammock so far. And for another option of sleeping at night, we have the Alpkit Hunker Bivvy. Now you might be thinking, why don't I just get a tent? Because to be honest, 500 grams plus 500 grams plus about another 500 grams, this whole setup is probably just under 2 kilograms, which is quite heavy considering you can get tents for about 1 kilogram or less. But this, having multiple options, is way better, because as you can see where I am now, the floor is unlevel and just horrible, so sleeping in a tent wouldn't be very comfortable today. So today I will probably opt for the hammock. Super small, light, and it's super comfortable. For them nights that you need a little bit more stealth camping and you just want to go small, maybe you've done a long miles, you've got a clear sky ahead, you know it's fine, and you've got some nice ground to lay on, you can just get in the bivvy and you're fine, no problem. And then if it's raining and you haven't got any trees to set up a hammock, well, you've got the bivvy, and you've also got a tarp that you can set up either with your bike. Not as practical, I know, but it's obviously an option. The tarp is such a versatile thing, you can use it pretty much all the time. You'll always be able to find a way, whether it's just put it over your head to stay dry. That is going to be all the stuff I carry for my bike packing setup on the gravel bike. I'm looking forward to some good adventures. Hopefully, maybe from next week, I will be able to go on one. I'm just sorting out a few last little bits. I'm happy with how the bike feels all loaded up and packed up. It feels super solid and stable. Okay, that is a little test of my bike packing setup for this year. I'm going to set up camp. I'm going to probably go hammock camping, I think, tonight. I'm going to head into the woods a bit more, find somewhere a little bit more secluded, and have a good night under the stars, because tonight is looking beautiful. But I'm going to end this video here, guys. If you want to see more, it'd be great if you would subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up, do all that fun stuff. You know, adventures coming soon. I cannot wait. Keep smiling, enjoy the adventure. Peace.